Well, hello, young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Monday, April the 10th, 2023. Monday, April the 10th. Well, look, we start out with Summer and Kyle. They're on the patio at Crimson Lights. She's planning, the memorial service. And Kyle's like, Summer, you're doing too much. Let me help you. Summer, can I? And she goes, if I have to say that I'm doing this on my own one more time, Kyle, right? And he's like, I'm just trying to help. I know you are, but you know what? I need to do this on my own. And that's exactly what's going on here. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And so he says something else, but you're going to wear yourself out. And perhaps, you need to see a professional. She goes, so you think I'm crazy? You think I need a spring? No, 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 no. Because what he's saying is, accidents just or unforeseen events just happen. Summer's like, I feel there's more to it. Definitely more. This was planned. And you and I both walked in on your mother on top of my mother. And we all heard what your mother said. And a few hours later, my mother is dead. Summer, what are you trying to say? I mean, that was it. She goes, you know what? Something is not what it seems. And I'm going to find out. I'm going to do this memorial service all on my own. He goes, but what about your brother? I mean, do you think Daniel might want to be involved? It was his mother too. And so she goes, I will talk to my brother. Okay. And I'll apologize to my brother for making all the arrangements. But I need to do this. And I'm not going to tell you again. I need to do it alone. She gets up and walks out. Sharon sees, the whole little back and forth. And she goes and, Sharon, that's her office. Crimson Light, she couldn't, I guess, really couldn't ask for a better office because she gets to observe anybody that might be in need of her services, right? Her psychologist services. The only thing is she ain't getting paid a dime. Sharon, where's your fee chart? The fee chart need to be right there on the brick. Half hour, $50. Hour, $100. I mean, because she just, goodness, help giving people advice, right? Professional advice. So Summer leaves. Now we're at the GCAC again. For one, after looking at the Grand Phoenix rooms, looking at that ancient dinosaur decor, GCAC, I'm like, oh, who could stay there? Now that's like you're used to staying in, I don't know, Marriott, and I'm not trying to use an expensive hotel, but you're used to staying in the Marriott, and now they put you back up in the Motel 8. Gee. Although no, Phyllis, where Stark got her, that's truly Motel 8, right? That might even be a step below Motel 8. But anyway, anyway, just they never upgraded that set, and that's too easy to do because realistically they show us in the same stinking room every time somebody's staying somewhere. Same room, just like with the Grand Phoenix. Same room, right? May change a picture here or there, but the same room. But even the little couch that they got by the little love seat at the foot of the bed, all of that looks so uncomfortable. And oh my goodness, put some money in that set, people. You walk, it's bad enough you walking down the hallway and it's nothing but this cabinet like wood down the entire hallway. Ooh, No, modern it up. So anyway, I'm like, okay, why is Diane sitting in the lobby of the GCAC? Tucker comes up razzing her out, right? Just Tucker can't wait to say something to Diane. And we find out, I think it's Tucker that mentions it. You know, why are you here? Or maybe Ashley asked him, why is he there? Because Ashley comes up to the room later, because I think he's just talking to Diane. And I think he tells Ashley, that's because the Grand Phoenix is under renovation and it's way too noisy. And I got tired of not being able to sleep. So that's why he's there. And I thought, oh, that's why everybody's there. Is that why Sally and Nick were there? I'm thinking, why is everybody staying there? And then those establishments are close together. Now they finally gave a stupid explanation. But now that we're going to be stuck with the GCAC for a while, modern it up. It was bad enough Devon had it. He's young, millennial, and he couldn't update that. Come on now. Even at my age, in my 60s, I would say, oh God, we gotta change this. So now we have, after Summer storms out, she comes to the GCAC, the bar, to meet Daniel, because you know Daniel's hanging out at the bar these days. Except I don't think he was drinking alcohol today. I really don't. But Kyle is sitting there brooding because Summer got mad and snapped at him. Oh no. Right? So, you know what I initially thought? Enter Audra. But they didn't. It was enter Diane. And she looks at him and he's saying, oh, mommy, mommy, mommy. So Diane, he didn't cry, but he was mommy, mommy, right? So Diane was telling him, you know, Summer's taking out her the way she feels about her onto Kyle. She said, because Summer's blaming me and you're the next target, next best thing, right? Which is kind of true. For one, she is blaming Diane. And Kyle is the next easiest thing, Jack too, because she's had to bite her tongue for almost a year and put up with it and just go along with everything. Well, you know what, Summer, you should have had a backbone a year ago. Should have had a backbone. So they're talking, and I said, okay, but they're laying the groundwork, the stage for a divide between Summer and Kyle. And this is where Audra is going to come in to play. She is. And happily. It'll be, oh, I'm sorry to hear about the what would she say? Unfortunate death in your family. How are you and your cute little wife? She won't say that, but it'll be like that, right? And by the way, how's your phone working? Now that I gave you your phone back, because see, that was me. I gave you your phone back. Just concerned. And if you ever need anyone to talk to, don't hesitate. So, what's this, Tuesday? My guess, by Friday, everybody, by Friday, there's going to be an encounter between Audra and Kyle. That's my guess. So we'll see if it comes true, right? But anyway, Ashley comes downstairs. Jack is calling Nick. See, back to what I'm saying. Everybody, Nick, how you doing, Nick? You okay, Nick? Because I noticed you ain't come to see your daughter, Nick. Right? Just checking on you, Nick. No, Nick, man up. You were talking about Phyllis. Any little lunch you had, you made uncomfortable with her. And then when she would turn it on you, well, that's my cue to leave. See, no, Nick. Be a father to your daughter. Show her some support, Nick. He can't seem to do that, everybody. Can't seem to do it. Ashley comes down. Well, that's not Ashley. That's Summer. I'll get to Summer. Ashley comes downstairs and boy, does she She don't give Jack a beat because she hears the conversation. She goes, well, that's rich. You offering all this concern when, look, you couldn't show not a bit of concern for Phyllis for months. And oh, she just went for the juggler. And he was snapping back and he goes, you know, Jack, Diane, see, Diane has something to do with this. Oh, and he's defending her to the, she goes, you know what? All this guilt, all this concern, yet you're doing the same thing, standing behind Diane. The reason all the, no, you and your cronies, you would think after Phyllis, what happened to Phyllis, you would go on a different direction. But no, you seem to be doubling down. And she goes, doubling down? That's because I care about you, Jack, and I see what's happening. You are so blind to what's happening. And I'm fighting for you. And so she ends up storming out. And Jack's, oh, he's actually crying. Because he's hurting over Phyllis, and then Ashley's laying into him, and as she's going out the door, she's crying, right? But out of anger, ugh, Billy is kind of crossing paths with Ashley, and he goes, oh. Then he looks at Jack, and he goes, okay. So they're talking, and Billy lets Jack, no, I'm not bashing anybody at all, but he's told Jack the honest truth. But Jack, there are rumors going on out there, and you need to be mindful of them. People are saying Diane is involved. Oh, so is that what you? He goes, no, look, no, I already told you, I'm not in it, but I want to make you aware of what's going on and what's being said so that you can make your own assessment, right? And so he says something to Billy, and Billy says, no, look, at this, I could take my leave because I've made you aware, right? Okay. Which is the way that it's playing into Stark. It's playing out the way Stark and Phyllis want. The true little evidence pointing, it really hasn't come out. When the blood test comes out, that's when a lot will come out, right? So now we've got, I told you, Summer, she leaves Kyle. She goes over to Daniel. And Daniel tells her, I saw an announcement, you know, that same one Phyllis was looking at, about a memorial service for Mom. That was news to me, Summer. And so she goes, well, I'm sorry. I need to apologize that I need to do this, Daniel. I need to do this. Because he goes, she's my mother too. She goes, I know she's your mother too. But this is my way of like making up for the way I treated her, for not even being there for her. I need this to be a certain special way, something befitting of her, something. And Daniel's looking, he goes, no, I understand. He said, I mean, and quite frankly, I probably would not have been any good to you in any of this planning, but a heads up, you know, just to let me know, you know, because I am involved. She goes, no, you're right. But can you trust me to handle this? And he said, yeah. And he goes, last night he couldn't sleep. So he drew that, they didn't show us, you know, he drew this sketch. It's a portrait of Phyllis in a sketch. And Summer looked at it. She goes, Daniel, this is beautiful. This is really, he goes, it's a rough draft. He said, I can make this better. She goes, this is perfect. And he goes, okay, but I am going to make it better. You know, he's going to finish it because it's a rough draft. And she was like, wow. And so they were both, he goes, you know, because I didn't leave things well with her either. And I've said some things to her. I felt I had time. He goes, as a matter of fact, I promised my father that tomorrow I'll sit her down tomorrow and talk to her. And he goes, tomorrow's not going to come for that conversation. He says, so look, I understand how you're feeling, Summer. I truly, truly understand it. So, they had a good brother-daughter thing. Summer's come up with this far-fetched theory that Stark coerced Phyllis. They were probably supposed to be in something together and bringing down Diane, and then Stark must have pulled out, and something or other. I mean, it's far-fetched, completely far-fetched. The only far-fetched thing is Stark is involved, but oops, Mama is too. We don't know that. Mama is too. It's all about getting Diane. All about getting Diane. So Summer's like, I'm not going to rest until I get to the bottom of this. And I'm thinking, uh-oh, watch. Summer is going to be the one blowing the whistle on her mama. Because she is serious, but she's really trying to get Diane. She's trying to prove Diane and Stark have something to do with this, right? Which is also going to be the divide between Kyle and her quest for that information. So then we have Tucker and Ashley. This was so cute to me. Tucker's trying to convince her to go ahead with their fake engagement and actually get married. He's talking about, let's get a house, and he's going on, and he's kissing her fingers, and Ashley's like, go ahead, kiss him, go ahead, yeah, get this one, get that one, yeah, you got this one. He's kissing all of them, right? And he goes, look, she goes, yeah, but it really won't work. Now that this Phyllis's death, we were going to do it to overshadow and upstage Jack and Diane's engagement. But now with Phyllis being gone, I don't feel it's, like the right thing to do. And Tucker said, I understand it's a sensitive time. He said, but I don't know, the mission is still the same. It's truly still the same with Diane and Jack. And so Ashley's thinking, and he goes, we can get our own place. And in my mind, I'm thinking, why would you do that? If the mission is to against Jack and Diane, Ashley, you move Tucker in with you. So the Tucker's in the house, because see, Tucker has no tact, really. They're gonna come down. Tucker's in the living room in a bathrobe, with sipping his coffee. Said, good morning, Jack. Hey, Diane. As he smiled and sipped, he make himself. Hey, muffins are great this morning, y'all. Miss Martinez really outdid herself. Jack would be livid. Tucker would come into that house and own the house like Diane owns that house. That's what should happen. Ashley moved Tucker in. And my thing is, you don't even have to be married to him. Announce your engagement. Yes, no, who cares? But move him in with you. Move him in with you. Just like Jack, right? Just like Jackie. So it's going to be interesting to see, what they actually do decide to do with that. But let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner. Lisa says, Lily and Devon does not know Victor's backing Chancellor Winters. If Devon gets busy with McCall Unlimited, it would tie to Chancellor Winters. Victor is using Newman Enterprises money to back Chancellor Winters, right? What if Victoria finds out she could get Chancellor Winters and McCall Unlimited under the Newman Enterprises? Well, for one, we don't know that Victor used Newman money, because Victor is a billionaire on his own. And whatever Devon buys with his own money, because he's not using Hamilton Winters money from that business. Devon's money he inherited is personal money. He might put some personal money into a business, but Devon is not going to use Hamilton Winters to buy McCall Unlimited. Devon will be buying McCall Unlimited on his own. That has nothing to do with Chancellor Winters. Those two would never have to meet, right? And depending on the money Victor did use, just because he's a major investor, a silent investor. We'll see what the terms, Jill's not stupid. There are some terms in that contract. I mean, Chancellor Winters does not belong to Newman Enterprises. Victor's just a major benefactor. But Victor could be Victor. Victor always likes double crossing. So we'll see. Kimberly says that's the one who's writing her lines. You're talking about Sally and not knowing how babies are made. Kidding with that. Libby says, my first thought about Sally is she needs some reference material the obstetrician gave, or she needs to read some of that reference material that the obstetrician gave her. We know she got some because she had it all laying around the hotel room when her pregnancy was a secret. You're sure right. Sally is not stupid. So shame on the writers for making her a dummy. I know. Considering the Chancellor lineage, I don't think Jill can have a claim, can have a darn thing to say about Abby's behavior. That's true. Jill was treacherous, right? And all things Abbott and Chancellor, because, you know, she and Jack had their affair on John, or his own daddy. I mean, come on now. They both were treacherous. As for what might happen with Victor and Devon, I suggest that a couple of days ago in my comment, but it didn't show up. Oh, well, you should have said what it was. Subscribe and link to this icon or to this channel. You should have said what the comment was, Libby, because we still don't know. Anita says, hopefully Devon buys Tucker Unlimited, Tucker Unlimited. McCall Unlimited. Also, I would be happy if Abby moved in to her own home. She owns a home, not the sperm donor's penthouse. Ha ha ha. Again, I want Chance to take his name off of Dominic's birth certificate. They have never treated Chance like Dominic's father. Well, that's not true. Chance was treated like Dominic's father. It would be very uncomfortable for Chance to continue to share custody with the sperm donor, Devon, and try to bond with Dominic once Dominic is living with Devon and Abby, in my opinion. Could be very awkward, more strained. Chance, with what he went through with the PTSD and everything, he had a heart. He couldn't really bond with Dominic. You know, he just really had a hard time. And Yolanda says, not a fan of Lily. I hope Devon buys Tucker's company. I hope that too. I mean, I really do. They're just letting that flounder in the wind, and that sale needs to go through. But that's it. That's it today for my daily recap of The Young and the Restless.